the etiquette on watching players at tournaments?
What was the question?
What is the etiquette that we should follow to watch players playing their game?
Okay, that's a good question. What is the proper etiquette? To be standing over somebody's shoulder and observing their game.
Keep your mouth shut.
Number one, be quiet. Number two, if you're going to watch the hand, stay for the hand. I've seen people making a quick about face when the person was looking at a zero hand and the cut was bad, and it was a clue to the other person that their opponent didn't have a hand.
Oh.
So if you're going to watch it, watch it. And if you're going to leave, try not to leave at a point where it might give away a condition that exists in the game. Good idea, and I'm guilty of this one. I don't say anything directly when I'm standing there, but I'm guilty of this, turning away 2 steps and saying, "You should have thrown the 5-jack." And I don't hear very good. Unfortunately, the person that's sitting at the table does. And so, better not to even do that.
Don't cringe.
Yeah.
When you see bad play, don't give away things. You know, and you see that.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Can you believe it? No.
That happened to me the other night when I was destroying the guy's you know,
I don't think I've
Yeah.
grand slam.
Okay.
But generally, it's very good that no, I don't know anybody who really objects to people watching as long as they don't interfere with the game.
I think it's healthy for people to watch,
Yep.
and I encourage them to watch.
Yep.
And I think stronger players should see it as a compliment that folks are gathered behind their chair to see what kind of decisions they make.
If you've got time during playoffs, go over and watch and stand back if you can. During playoffs, you can stand back a little farther.
Yeah.
During a tournament, the tables are so close together that you're watching, you're standing right next to somebody. Take a step back if you're watching the playoffs, because there's plenty of room generally around the playoffs to stand back a
Okay.
little farther.
All right, Todd.
One other, and if you're watching a game with someone you know, say it's Don, say it's your husband, stand behind the person you know. Don't stand behind the opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
You wouldn't flag anything going on, but
It just
you
leaves
don't
that
stand
out.
behind them, yeah, then everybody knows nothing is going on.
That's a very good point, and it also makes many players uncomfortable in the playoffs. If my brother's there, or my wife is in the playoffs, and I make a point of standing behind their chair while they're playing my wife or my brother, even though I might have some reputation for being somewhat honest, they begin to wonder, you know, maybe I am
Go over to
sending
the
some
watch
signals.
somebody else.
I don't wonder, I just tell you to move.
Yeah, and that's
I'm not
good,
afraid to do that.
Yeah.
and that's all right, but there's a lot of folks that aren't, that won't be that forthright about it. And so it's good to consider what impact you may be having on the game by your watching, okay?
Yeah, I had a guy's wife standing behind me one time in the playoffs. So I started holding my cards so she couldn't see him, and he noticed it, and he asked her to move.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I've seen a lot of people do, I'm totally against it, somebody be standing here, grassroots or tournament, 2 players in the middle of a game, and this person, after the hand's over and they're shoving, this person will say, "You missed 2 points."
Oh, yeah.
It could be a friend of theirs or something, but say you missed 2 points,
Yeah.
and tell them about how they miscounted. That is totally wrong. If that person miscounted that hand, the game's not over yet. He might miss the 2 points later in the game. This person up here should not say anything.
Yeah, and telling people that they miss points. I think creates more problems than it does educate people. I've heard people tell me, well, don't you think they would want to know? Well, maybe not. So you have to be careful with that, and if a person is sincere, there are a few people that will say now, if I miss any points in this game, I'd sure like you to tell me. Now, if it sounds sincere, assist them. But understand, I'd say it might even be 70-30 that we resent being told that they miss rather than appreciate it. So,
Yeah, and their mind's distracted. Some people will be thinking about those points they missed and take their mind off the game.
yeah. As a rule, what is the old golden rule? Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. That pretty much fits. And if you're watching the game, think about how it is that you would like to be respected if you were playing the game instead of standing behind the chair. Then probably a lot of this will.
Well, it goes back to your first rule. Be quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did say that, and you wonder why I didn't learn that. I keep showing up here to shoot off my mouth, and you said one of the most important things was to be quiet. Oh,
And I don't think it's fair when really good players talk on the cell phone when you're in the finals of the consolation or the playoffs. I don't like that. I don't think that's fair. I think it's rude.
Your opponent?
But you're playing in the tournament finals, playoffs, yes.
You know, Reno did put out the word that cell phones have to be turned off at Reno.
I'm in
That's,
favor of that.
I got to tell you, cell phones interfere with my life a lot. So, anyway, that's so I'm opposed to cell phone use. Do you see me have one? Do you know my wife for years has had one? And I used to carry it in the car just because she put it in my suitcase. But I never took it out of the suitcase. She likes to talk on the phone. I guess there's something to be said for it. I guess, you know, if you can find a variety of uses for your phone, I guess you would want to carry it with you. Make a lot of sense. Oh, okay, what else? What else? We were gonna, actually, where did this all start?
I have a question about watching
Somebody standing behind your chair.
Went to the cell phone
Now
to the
that's-
toilet.
See how far this can branch out? Look at the opportunities for learning if you just apply this kind of branching out to all of these aspects of cribbage we've discussed.
Can you
Wow.
play,